Hey everybody, thank you for tuning in to Smitty's NFL Gambling Show, Episode 8. I'm your host, Jonathan Smith. Of course, we're going to talk about this week's picks in the NFL, Week 8. But first, let's talk about last week's picks. Well, we finally had another winning week. Even though it was just 3-2, it feels good to get away from losing because that's all we've been doing for about 3 weeks now. So we went 3-2, bringing our grand total of 14-23. Now, that's still 9 games out under 500, but we still got a long way to go, and I think we could get a few wins above 500 by the time the end of the season comes. It should have been 4-1. It should have been 4-1, but the Rams in the second half of their game versus the Steelers just stopped being able to move the ball, and then the refs start playing against them. But we'll take 3-2 for now. We'll get better as time goes on. Let's get to this week's picks. All right, first game we're going to talk about is the Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. They have the Pats at +9. Now, that is a pretty big spread. That's a pretty big spread. I'm thinking that the New England Patriots can get a little confidence rolling. As you can see, I'm kind of talking myself into it. But they get some confidence working since they beat the Bills last week. All we have to do is get good quarterback play from Mac Jones. In other words, don't turn the ball over too much, and we can keep it close. And that's all we want to do. We want to keep it close. So let's go New England +9. All right, next we have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers at +2.5. I'm picking the Steelers to win outright. I know I really wasn't feeling the Steelers early this year. I didn't think they were that good of a team. They've had some very impressive wins. Last week was kind of like I said, versus the Rams. But they did also beat Baltimore, even though that was also kind of fluky. I think Jacksonville is a phony. Like, they're 4-2 or 5-2, whatever they are. I don't think that's real. So I'm picking the Steelers to win outright. All right, we got the Saints versus the Colts. They have the Colts at +1, so it's basically a pick 'em. I'm taking the Colts to win. I just think they're better than the Saints. That's all I got for you. The Saints, they kind of on a downward spiral. Everybody mad at Carr. It's probably going to keep going that way. Colts to win outright. All right, next we got the Texans versus the Carolina Panthers. And they have the Texans at -3.5. I'm picking the Texans -3.5. Bottom line, I don't think Carolina is a very good team. And I think the Texans are a good team. Texans -3.5. Let's take them. All right, and last we're going to talk about the Minnesota Vikings versus the Green Bay Packers. Now, they have the Vikings at -1.5. I'm taking the Vikings at -1.5. One, Green Bay, I did pick them to win the division. Doesn't look like that's going to happen. Looks like the quarterback play needs a little more oomph, for lack of a better term. Love's just not getting it done. The Vikings are on a little streak now. I think they're going to just keep rolling and go into Lambeau and do what they need to do to get this victory. And then I think they'll be at 500. I'm looking at the Vikings to still make a strong push for the playoffs. Let's take the Vikings at -1.5. All right, so the recap. We got the New England Patriots versus the Miami Dolphins. We're taking the Patriots +9. We have the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers at +2.5. We're going to take the Steelers to win outright. Then we have the Saints versus the Colts at a toss 'em. We're going to take the Colts to win. And then we got the Texans at -3.5 versus the Panthers. We got the Texans going in there and doing their thing, beating them by more than 3.5 points, of course. And then we're going to do the Vikings -1.5 versus the Packers. Picking the Vikings. They'll beat the Packers. All right, thanks again for tuning in to Smitty's NFL Gambling Show. Please like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And let's get this money. 2003 NFL season. Talk to you later.